And now, News 2 Sports Overtime.
Heroics at TD Arena, the finish that sent Cougar fans into delirium. And the ultimate example of friendship, how Cooper and Kingsley have changed the paths of each other's lives. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to News 2 Sports Overtime. I'm Logan Reaver. While it's easy to sit on your couch binge-watching Netflix, or even this show for that matter, it never hurts to get out and about. And on Friday night at TD Arena, the Cougs gave you something worth stepping out for. It is our leadoff.
And now, OT's The Leadoff.
There's a reason people say everybody is working for the weekend. No, it's not just your crazy aunt from the 80s. People do really say that. It's mainly because of the hype of Friday. So much potential, so many options. But I'll tell you what, if you get to witness a home buzzer beater to kick off your weekend, you might as well just stay in on Saturday and Sunday because you aren't going to top it. College of Charleston looking to make it 8 wins in a row as they welcomed in Coastal Carolina. It's 2018. If you don't have a cool handshake, you're basically irrelevant. Hold on, bring this one back. We got dudes doing hairspray now. Well, I'll tell you what, Coastal wasn't worried about their looks because they came out slamming and yelling while doing it. Amadou Bamba shows off on this occasion. This one had a flurry of finesse and power. Jarrell Brantley over to Zep Jasper, who lets it fly like Casper. Dr. Seuss is taking over here in the late night. Marquise Pointer drives in and kicks it out to Grant Riller. No good, but he's got Nick Harris camping out, and he puts it back in. More effort from the tower. Another second chance board gets it over to Brantley. Pay attention, folks. This is what we call foreshadowing. I don't know if you can tell, but Brantley looks like he pulls trailers in his free time, so trying anything on him is a questionable mistake. The SWAT gets you a big man with handles. Over to Pointer, who gets the runner to go. More Cougar defense now. Riller, he's going to get the theft, and he's so mad, he slams his own face on the rim when he's throwing it down. But he'd be okay, actually more than okay, because now he's just firing missiles. Brantley with the punch. How about this kid? So all around, we go back to Riller one more time to the basket, and one. He's just taking a beating, but he watches Rocky. He knows what to do. This time around, he finds Jalen McManus, and although you see a lot of good from this highlight, Coastal was as well. You take a look at the three-point bomb on the shot here. They found themselves up by 1 with just seconds to go. Cougars trying for the game as the clock is winding down. Jasper over to Brantley. He's going to get it from the bottoms. How about that for a nightcap? A thriller at TD. And the Cougs head into Christmas break winners of 8 in a row and 22 straight at home.
I mean, honestly, this guy right here made it really easy for me. All I had to do was step in and shoot it. I mean, he took all the pressure. He beat the press on his own. You know, he got down, made the right read, and that's a hell of a pass from a freshman.
I just knew I could take my time. I knew if I can drive and kick, you know, we work on that every day in practice. Coach Rent call it POP, you know. So I just knew I could get to the basket, and I was looking for the shooters, you know, drive and kick. That's all I knew.
Really hard-fought game, but, you know, I think some games are going to be hard-fought like that. You can't win every game by 10 or 12 points or 15, or sometimes you got to win in overtime. Sometimes you got to win in double overtime. Sometimes you got to hit a shot at the buzzer. And then sometimes you just come up a little short. So just happy that we came out on the right side of it.
Clemson and USC, Brad Brownell and Frank Martin chatting about who wore the more unique suit jacket. Marquise Reed, his first game back after missing 3 with a knee injury. All right, well, enough talk. Let's test this baby out. From the corner, he's going to pull, gets all 3 of those. The smile afterwards, that's a good sign of how it feels. Gamecocks with the ball now. Chris Silva, he's going to thread the needle into Evan Hinson with the slam and harm on top of it. We saw the Silva passing. Now it's time for a little bit of the finishing. He got the body flying around there like a feather, and he still finds a way to put it home. And 1. He's a loud man. You don't want to take naps around him, but it's time for the silencer. John Newman III with a throwdown that will make you forget about 1 and 2. Elevation, get another load of this poster. He quiets down Silva on this occasion. My, oh my, whole bench can't get enough of it as well. Gamecocks would trail by double digits in the second half, but they would claw their way back. Off and running, and it's Keyshawn Bryant who just adds to his season of highlight reel plays, trying to will a full-fledged comeback, but it would be the return of the Reed in the end. ISO with the finish over Hassani Gravett. He would finish with 20. Clemson beats their arch rival 78-68. Afterwards, Clemson talked about having Reed back, and SC tries to figure out this bad start.
Marquise is just another guy that's been through it all, and so he knows our system. We can make adjustments quickly, and he can You know, we can tweak something because of the way South Carolina's playing if we need to. And then I think he just gives confidence to the other players.
I'm really excited about where we're at and where we're headed. The problem is it's not fun when you lose and you got to sit here and answer questions after losses. But the excitement about the kids, their character, who they are, their willingness to continue to come in and fight to grow, I really, really like that. I like where we're headed.
With Cam Newton expected to be rolled out for the rest of the year, insert Taylor Heinicke at QB. The former Old Dominion product made his first career start today. It was an emotional one as Taylor lost his father as a freshman at the school. And before the game, he had this to say.
You know, he's my best friend. He's like, but I would say he's like the best father. You know, he did everything for me. And, you know, that hit hard. I'll tell you one thing, he would have been at every game. He'll be at every game, whether it was away, if it was in London, he'll be there, you know. He would drop anything for me, which is what any great father would do.
As for how his day went, it started fantastic. Heinicke is going to roll out, and he has no friendly neighbors around until Ian Thomas comes out of the bushes and gives him a nice glass of lemonade, you could say. Sometimes prayers are answered on your first career touchdown. You can just go and ask Brett Favre about that one. A 7-0 lead at that point, but things would only go down from there. Heinicke would injure his elbow on this play and takedown from the Falcons, and although he would stay in the game, it didn't improve. On this occasion, rollout anything but the same. Tipped and picked by Jack Crawford. Panthers dropped their 7th in a row, 24-10. National Signing Day is always a time to embrace the student athlete, recognize their accomplishments, and what they have done in their lives up to this point. Well, this is one very special story that stood out above the rest, and what makes it different is on this day, the player deflected his moment to give his day in the sun to a very special person. Hanahan's Cooper Dawson had a choice between 18 different schools throughout the country when it comes to where he would play football next. But rather than tell you himself, he gave the stage to his friend Kingsley Feynman, who suffers from cerebral palsy.
I brought Kingsley out here today because he's inspired me a lot through the torn ACL process. He taught me that the only disability is a bad attitude, and if he can come around every day with this big old smile on, I can do it just the same. So without further ado, I told Kingsley I'd announce it to him before I told anyone else. So I'm gonna tell him, and then I'll let him announce to y'all.
He's going to Syracuse.
Now, that is a story you will see a full feature on tonight, so stick around for that. Tarius Drayton will be sticking around these parts to continue his football career. The James Island offensive lineman signed with the Citadel. Now, we know that's always an interesting choice. The military college experience is unlike any other, but Drayton says he knew he always wanted to be a Bulldog, so that way he could be immersed in a lifestyle that he is familiar with.
Well, I come from like a military family. I always thought like the military training and like the mentality of how they carry themselves like puts you a step above and creates the experience that others won't experience.
Tarius' athletic ability is he's got so much upside as well. Is we have to develop him. He looks like a defensive lineman when he runs through some of the defensive line drills, but he carries himself like an offensive lineman. He's a pretty thick dude.
We should put that on a bumper sticker. He's a pretty thick dude. Now, what you don't see there is hair. You go, yeah, so? The dude had dreads down to here 3 hours before that. Now it's gone. I'll tell you what, if somebody comes for me with a razor, we're going to have some problems. But he doesn't.
Yeah, it's different. I wanted to cut it earlier, but I had to play in the North-South game, and I didn't want to play in the game that I never played in my hair.
Also signing the dotted line was Berkeley running back Keyshawn Wicks, as he will be heading to Old Dominion for his college career. Don't expect him to be the last Stag to sign, though. Coach Randy Robinson expects more in the coming months. We've all got that one kryptonite, right? That one hump we just can't get over. For me, it's watermelon Sour Patch Kids. Evil little buggers get me every single time. Well, for Wando, it's West Ashley. No current player or coach has beat the Wildcats in their time with the school. But another shot of redemption this week. Let's get this place going. Wando fired up to try to end the streak in enemy territory. Meanwhile, the Wildcats are shoving each other around like madmen. Don't worry, they're smiling in there. Right off the tip, Warriors working it around, and the head fake is undefeated. Drew Coleman buries the J, and when he isn't flashing 80-yard TD runs, he's sinking trays. The Bo Jackson of West Ashley, Kenyatta Jenkins from downtown. The boys in red now. Sam Layden, the miss, but Malik Brown with the calves of a wildebeest. He gets way up there to put it back in, but enough small talk. Time for you to get a whole bunch of Marlon Hill here. First, we start with the swat, then loose ball, scooped up, and even The Rock is jealous of that pull-up. Now on the drive. In my notes here, I don't see how much he squats, but let's just go with 1,000. Sounds about right. Just bullying his way to the cup, and then one more time to show you it wasn't a fluke. Truly just a bruiser when it comes to his finishes, as you see him getting in the lane and finishing off one more time. Now this play is the whole night wrapped into one sequence. First, a Jenkins miss, and then they proceed to get us about as many chances as a persuasive boyfriend. After 5 shots, it is finally Devin Ramsey who puts it home. West Ashley would continue the streak in blowout fashion, 72-46. Wando still looking to turn down the watermelon candies. Another game this week, Cane Bay and Ashley Ridge. The Cobras got some furrows going, so I figured let's get some funk music in there. Jamal Edmondson lining up for her. Cobras going right back at it, though. Laquan Smalls, not a body in sight, just shooting practice, basically. So we saw the determination before of West Ashley a couple seconds ago. These teams, man, and particularly some of these kids, they do not give up on any plays. Umar Williams just keeps sticking with it. And I mean keeps sticking with it. Finally, we'll get it to go after many shots. Now the offense afterwards is moving beautifully. Swamp Fox is sharing the wealth. I'll tell you what, this Hampton Summerhill has a little fight in him. Chip on his shoulder kind of guy. I like it. Now it's time for the play of the game. It's going to be an air ball that leads to an outlet. And Nathaniel Sessions says, sit down, everybody. Class is now in sessions. The throwdown. We're not going to get it twisted, though. It was all Foxes in the second half. Edmondson with the rejection, and Somerville would go on to do the rest with the dangerous hoop. Give me a yell or something, too, in there after the and one. Ashley Ridge, their winners, 78-45. Life lesson, you can never have too much Gatorade. CSU downing some electrolytes and hoping to do the same with JWU. Early on, Christian Keeling to the corner. All 3 of those for Nate Lewis. It's the gold unis, I'm telling you. This time no good, but Travis McConico is his pal. He helps him out with the board. To Keeling, who fights at home. More working around for the Bucks until it's Keeling. He's going to go so fast he loses the camera and takes a body with him. The thunderous throwdown. Bucks roll 86-61. Now the boys get a little bit of a break here. Coach Radeboss says, thank goodness.
We were beat up. Christian's got a hole in his leg. Flanders is out. Didi's hurt. His back hurts. Ty sprained his ankle tonight. Duncan is coming off a concussion and was a game-time decision. We are beat up, and we are physically, emotionally, and mentally exhausted. And so this break couldn't come at a better time for us.
Speaking of beat up, my voice has taken a toll. Up and down weekend for the Rays in Greenville. A narrow 4-3 win on Friday was almost finished off with a 3-goal comeback in the third on Saturday, but the Swamp Rabbits put a damper on it when they won in overtime. So all in all, 1-1, they are back home on December 28th. You saw them a second ago, but now it's time to hear the full story of these two, Cooper and Kingsley, coming your way next.